Okay, it is 7 o'clock, so we will get this presentation started. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us and welcome. Good evening. My name is Cindy Erickson, and I am the tour coordinator with Westworld Tours. I'll be facilitating the presentation this evening, and joining me to tell you all about magical New York City at Christmas time is our tour director, Sandy Gabbert. Welcome, Sandy.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Are you all excited about New York?
I am. Just looking at these pictures just makes so many memories come back.
Well, we can't wait to hear what you've got to share with us this evening. So I will move on forward and we will be chatting with you again shortly.
Okay.
As I mentioned, before I turn the presentation over to Sandy, I just have a couple things I would like to go over with you before she gets us all excited about going to New York. Questions. We do encourage you to ask questions at any time throughout the presentation. That being said, everybody has been muted. So we ask you to type your questions into the Q&A box that's located on your screen. And, if you think of a question, just type it into that Q&A box and we will answer all of your questions at the end of our presentation. And our presentations, talking about our video presentations. We've been conducting presentations throughout the last year, and we have a library on our website. If you were to go to westworldtours.com, you will be able to see on the tabs on the top of your page there is one that says video tour presentation. And everything that we've done has been recorded and you can watch it at your leisure. So if there's another tour that you're interested in, check it out. Most of our tours we have done presentations on. So, and the best way to stay informed of our video presentations is, of course, to sign up for our newsletter, our e-newsletter. And I'm going to launch a poll onto your screen right away here that will give you the opportunity to do just that. So you can sign up for our newsletter and you can sign up for Westworld Tours. You can sign up for our Women Xplorers newsletters, or you can sign up for both of them. And if you're already receiving them, by all means, please let us know that as well. I'll give everybody an opportunity to reply and then we can move forward. So, all right, I will end that poll. Thank you all for participating in that. So a little bit about us, for those that haven't been watching our presentations or are joining us for the first time. As Western Canada's premier tour company, Westworld Tours and Women Xplorers have been serving Canadians from coast to coast with escorted travel throughout North America and around the world since 2000. We present quality components, including modern, comfortable coaches, professional tour directors, experienced, courteous drivers, baggage handling, and excellent accommodations. We take in all the important sites and attractions and include several meals throughout the tour. Thousands of passengers have chosen our first-class style of touring, enjoying the great value, security, and stress-free environment, all while making new friends along the way. We know our tour directors enjoy getting to know you while they're on tour and love to see your familiar faces as well. So speaking about familiar faces, I'm going to launch a second poll onto your screen right away here, asking everyone whether you've traveled with us before or not. And we're always curious to know who's watching us and how many have traveled with us before. So I'll give you all a minute to respond to that. And then I'll let you know. Okay, it looks, Sandy, if you're curious to know as well.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, good. So 66% watching us this evening have never traveled with Westworld Tours or Women Xplorers before. So that's great. We hope we can tell you a little bit more.
That.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
And then 33% have traveled with us. And to those that have traveled with us before, welcome back. We look forward to seeing your familiar faces on board once again. So thanks everybody for participating in that. So at this point, I am going to introduce you to Ms. Sandy Gebert. Sandy has been a tour director with Westworld Tours and Women Explorers going on for 6 years now. She has had the opportunity to take 3 of our Westworld Tour groups to New York and has visited New York 6 to 7 times already. So she loves New York, and she did tell me that the New York at Christmas is one of her all-time favorite tours. So she's very excited to be with us this evening and share her knowledge and love of New York City. So again, welcome, Sandy, and thanks for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me to talk about something that's so close to my heart. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, we're happy you're here.
Okay, so these are maps of the area that show where our hotel is and in proximity to where you can get to things from our hotel. Our hotel has a great location, and you can walk right through Times Square in a matter of minutes. You can walk to anywhere. You can walk to the Broadway play, the Empire State Building. It is just, and it's easy to get around. All the streets are numbered, and you'll get a map when you get to the hotel, and there isn't anything you're not going to be able to find without just looking at the map or asking somebody. Everybody is actually, for New York's reputation, everybody is very friendly and very helpful. So very easy to get around from our hotel. I don't think we could have a better location. And speaking of our hotel, if you're traveling with more than 2 people in your room, or 3 or 4, our rooms for the hotel in Times Square compared to other hotel rooms in Times Square are a decent size. It's very expensive to stay right in Times Square, and some of the hotel rooms are very tiny. Ours have great windows, and they're a good size, good sized bathroom, so you could easily fit 3 or 4 people in the room with no problem, and we're very well located.
Yeah, by looking at these maps here, Sandy, I can see, most of Manhattan itself is on that grid, right? So it's really easy to navigate through it.
Very easy, very easy. Yeah.
And as you mentioned, like our hotel is so close to so many things, like you said, Radio City Music Hall, Times Square, Empire State Building, like all things are, relatively close in that area. So
there's a great restaurant location for breakfast about a block away that a lot of people went to on all the tours I've been on. And the value for your dollar for breakfast is actually quite surprising. And so, and we're right across the street from the Stardust restaurant. It's a fantastic location. If you were just going and you wanted a great hotel, that is the one to stay in.
Awesome.
Definitely. I've suggested it.
And that restaurant you were talking about, is that the restaurant where they have the famous singing servers?
Yes. Ellen Stardust Diner.
Awesome.
Is right kitty corner from our hotel. You can look out your window, and it is lined up. The line goes fairly fast, and it's a wonderful experience to go there. You're jammed in like sardines, but it's a lot of fun. Like everybody's really close, but the dancers, singers are on the tables, and it's fun.
Oh, it sounds like it would be so much fun. And like I said, I think everywhere you turn in New York, it's a new experience too, right?
It is, and probably not the same one every time you go. You think you're going to do exactly the same thing, but it's going to be different.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So these are just some pictures, and just so you know, I took a lot of these pictures myself. So the top left-hand corner is Wall Street. There is a Christmas tree on Wall Street. It's not quite as big as the Christmas tree, but it's a fair size. So Wall Street is something to see with the bull and stuff on it. The lower left is a view of the 9/11 memorial. And we will actually stop there, and you will get to see it. And the upper right-hand corner is a different view of it. The bottom right is the Empire State Building, all decked out for Christmas in its colors. And the middle one is a star that is over 57th and 5th Avenues. It's a UNICEF star, and it has been there since comes out since 1984. It's 23 feet high and 28 feet wide, so it's really something to see. And our bus goes right under it, so it's good.
Nice.
Yeah, when we do our city tour, we see it.
Okay, I know that Like I said, on our New York, our Women Explorers, New York Christmas Spectacular Tour, the dates on this one are December 3rd to December 8th. It is a shorter tour, but it's a great way to experience New York City, especially under the magic of Christmas. Like I know New York just comes alive at Christmas. Yeah.
And you're going to see all the things that you think New York is all about. If you watch Hallmark movies, you're going to recognize a lot of the landmarks. And then after you go home and you watch another Hallmark movie, you'll say, I've been there. I know what that looks like.
Yeah.
So,
or some of those big blockbusters. Man, I can't remember how many blockbuster movies have been filmed in New York, but you know, I can think of When Harry Met Sally and, you know, like some really
right there in that building on the lower right. You can go up there and maybe find your Harry. You never know.
You never know.
It hasn't worked for me, but maybe you'll find one up there. And I'm happy to say I took these pictures as well. This is a tour that we do on Dyker Heights. It's in Brooklyn. So our bus will drop us off a couple blocks away. This scenery, these houses go over a few blocks. So you can walk at your leisure and you can take pictures of the houses, and there's police officers directing traffic. There's hot chocolate stands, and it's an amazing sight to see, and it just warms your heart. And there's so many, nothing is the same. Every house is different, and it's just so heartwarming to see these houses. And it's some people come from all over the world to see these Christmas lights in Dyker Heights.
And we get to spend Dyker Heights. We get to spend Dyker Heights. We get to spend the evening there. And like you said, every house is different. Every house is unique, and it just really adds to that, like that Christmas feeling. Like, holy, I can't imagine.
Like Cindy was saying, the tour is one of our shorter tours, but boy, you're going to be tired when you get home.
You're going to see lots.
Yeah, you're going to be busy. So, So, and these are just pictures of some of the more famous stores, of course, you're going to see. And Macy's is right across the street from one of the biggest Christmas markets in New York City. So you do have free time if you want to head to the Christmas market and then over to Macy's. And then you can go to Louis Vuitton if your heart is strong, and you can go in there and buy yourself a purse. And then, of course, Cartier is on the right. We don't really stop there. We do go past it on the bus when we do our city tour. So it's something to see that big cat all lit up. So it's nice, but it's good to see these stores. You hear about them all the time, and you know, you want to see them. So you can go in and take pictures, and they don't mind. Again, I spent a lot of time in this store. So this, of course, is Tiffanys, and they have I can't remember if it's 4 or 5 floors, and each floor is depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for rings, or you're looking for earrings, or just silver jewelry, it'll tell you what floor to go to. And a funny story I have about this one is I took my granddaughter to New York a few years ago, and they have a really nice looking guy in a Tiffany blue shirt with his suit on, standing at the door. And he kind of looked at us like, where'd you guys come from? So we went up to the silver floor, and we bought tiny little charms. And I asked the lady for the biggest Tiffany bag she had, so that when I walked out, I just kind of stuck it in his face. Look at my bag. So people are really accommodating there. And if you ask for the biggest Tiffany bag, they'll give it to you. So
nice.
I really like in the lower right, that musical instrument design that Cindy would like me to bring that home for her when I go next time. So if you see something sticking out of my purse that shouldn't be there, it belongs to Cindy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll tell you, I look forward to standing in front of the window at Tiffany's, having my breakfast, like breakfast in Tiffany's. That's something I have to do, whether it's a cannoli, I don't know, but I'm going to take something for breakfast, a bagel, maybe a pretzel. I hear you can get a good pretzel there. Yeah.
You can buy pretzels at all hours of the day there. So
there you go.
But so no, it's you've definitely got to go to Tiffany's. It's something to see.
For sure.
So, and it is right next door to Louis Vuitton. Okay, so this gentleman in the middle is our New York City tour guide. He does our local tour while we're in New York City. And you can tell by the look on his face, he's a real character. He's a part-time actor, part-time tour guide, and the two come together quite nicely. So he's really very funny. The picture on the far left is cheesecake from Junior's. It is phenomenal. Again, I recommend having cheesecake while you're there. But when we do the city tour with Michael, we go to Little Italy and we stop at a bakery. So of course you can see the cannolis on the top and everything else on the bottom. So everybody leaves with bags out of that store. There's always a lineup at this bakery. I think it's his favorite in all of New York. So he's always happy to go there and he's happy to show it to us. So yeah,
Well,
so you're gonna eat a lot on this tour, just saying.
well, you know, the only way to find out about these great little bakeries and these quaint little
Yep.
shops and restaurants is from the locals. Nobody knows
Yep.
it better, right? So
That's right.
Yeah.
You're right. So it's good to get an insider's perspective. So one of the things we did in our spare time while we were there is we walked across the Brooklyn Bridge. And that's a real experience. You can get some great pictures doing that. And if you start in Manhattan, you end up in Chinatown. So it's I can't remember how long it is, a couple kilometers or 5 kilometers, maybe a couple kilometers. I'd have to double check, but it's really something that's fun to do. And I mean, how many people do you know say they've walked the Brooklyn Bridge? So it's kind of cool. The top middle is just New York with the frost on the trees and it looks that busy. I have never ever been afraid while I've been in New York, ever. There's police at almost every corner. I've never had an issue whatsoever, neither have any of my passengers. So it's good. And of course, on the bottom, we have St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is something you also want to see. And the upper right is again, just walking across Brooklyn Bridge. So
well, I just did a
yeah.
Google search on that to tell you how far
How
it
far
is.
is it? How far is it?
It's not nearly as far as you thought it was.
It felt like it.
Yeah, the pedestrian walkway across the bridge is slightly over 1.6 kilometers. So
Well, almost two.
yeah, well,
It gets-
just over a mile.
Well, it seemed longer. It was raining and it was windy.
No, still adventure. It was a
It's
great
still an
adventure.
adventure, yes. Yes, and again, everything is about the pictures. You can tell the people who are in New York for the first time, especially in Times Square, because they're all standing with their cameras pointed upward. By the second or third day, you're not doing that anymore. You're done. So, so it's kind of funny to see. So this here is Grand Central Station, all except for the picture on the bottom left. We walked through there and there was a choir singing Christmas carols, which was really cool. They also have a whole bunch of shops in Grand Central Station that are really unique. You can get some really neat little foods in there and stuff like that. And you can go see all the trains and see where they're going and just watch people hustling and bustling around at Christmas. It's kind of like a movie all in itself, just being in Grand Central Station. So, and the bottom left is NBC Studios and Rockefeller Center. There is a free day, and on my free day last time, I actually went and watched Jimmy Fallon. You can go online and you can get the tickets are free. You can go online and you can get tickets, or do what I did is I think it's at 5 o'clock every afternoon. You can line up, and they fill the empty seats. And quite a few people got in on the empty seats. I'd probably say 50 of them anyway. So
Wow.
quite a few. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, unfortunately, we're not there when Saturday Night Live is taping, but maybe you could see Jimmy Fallon. It was kind of cool.
I just think it would be interesting
Yeah.
to go to NBC Studios to watch anything, actually. You know,
Well, and like everything else, you exit through a souvenir store, so you can buy all the T-shirts from Jimmy Fallon or Saturday Night Live or whatever else they record there. So that's one
Awesome.
thing. When you go out of places, there's always a souvenir shop.
And honestly, I can say, I don't think I could go to New York and not visit Grand Central Station. I mean,
Yeah, you have to see it.
Yeah.
It's something to see and something you're gonna remember, and sites that
Yeah.
you're gonna remember that you've seen on TV. And like I said, next time you watch another movie from New York or whatever, you'll know that you've been there. So it's
absolutely.
kind of cool to see those things. Even on our city tour, when we go past the steps where Law and Order is filmed, you know, when they
Mhm.
come out of the courthouse,
Yeah.
you get to see those steps too. So it's, you know, just things that you get to see it's kind of fun.
Mhm.
So of course there's in the upper left, Christmas decorations on Saks Fifth Avenue. Everything is all decked out for Christmas. They go all out. It's as you can see, even the dogs go all out. This guy posed for me. Didn't look too happy about it, but he posed for me. So that was kind of cool. And on the upper right, we left our hotel one morning and there was a rat, a big inflatable rat on the back of a truck. No idea where it was going or what they wanted it for, but there was a rat. So on the bottom left, of course, is the tree. You will see the tree many times. It's at Rockefeller Center, of course. It's the most crowded place in New York. The earlier in the day you go, the less people there are going to be. If you want to skate, you have to make reservations. We looked up the cost of that, didn't we, Cindy? Did it say what the cost was to go
No, I
skating?
didn't. I was looking for other information, so that I did
Yeah.
not check out to see
Yeah,
how much
you
it is.
have to book in advance, and
Yeah.
then I'm not sure how much it is, but you can go skating on the rink. They only let so many people on at a time, and probably now with COVID, it's probably even more restricted, but you could go online, and if that's something you want to do on your free day, then you know that would be an experience as well. So
Mhm.
when you're walking around New York, this picture was taken as we left our hotel and walked towards our play of the fire station from Ladder 4. If you go in and talk to the guys, they all talk to you. They're happy to talk to you. They like visitors. So their doors always seem to be open. Every time we went by, their doors were open. And as you can see, they have their fallen brothers in the picture on the lower right. So if you get the chance to go in, make that part of your travels, is that you go in and you talk to them, because it's very interesting. Very interesting. So
They would be extremely interesting to
yeah.
talk to. It would be
Oh, they
a
are.
great experience. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Some of them are like second generation firefighters whose fathers may have passed away in 9/11, and they all have a story and they're willing to share it with you. So, and they'll let you
Yeah.
take whatever pictures you want. Like if you want to stand on the side of the truck, they're accommodating.
Isn't that
So
great?
yeah, yeah, it is. And like I say, all the doors always seem to be open. So it was good. And of course, there's Lady Liberty. We are going to go see Lady Liberty, and we are going to go to Ellis Island, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. So Lady Liberty, we do spend a fair amount of time on the island. We don't go to the top, but if that's something you want to do, there is time that you can go. We're there for, I think it's about an hour and a half. There is a restaurant there where we leave our hotel at 9 in the morning to go there. So if you haven't eaten breakfast, you could always grab your breakfast there. But it's kind of nice to see. The ferry is kind of interesting, depending on how many people are around. You kind of feel like cattle, and it kind of goes back and forth. But it's fun. It's interesting, and they drop you off, and then they'll go around to Ellis Island and drop more people off, and they make a loop of people coming and going. So,
Mm.
and if you're lucky and we're flying in at night, and you're flying on the right side of, or you're looking at the right side of the plane, you might get a lit up view of Lady Liberty, depending on what time our flights are getting there, and like I say, what side of the plane you're on.
That's right.
So, and most people have their noses glued to the window just trying to get that view.
Well, I
So
imagine the view of just flying in and over
Yep.
just a view of Manhattan and the city itself from the
Yep.
air would be
Yep.
amazing in
It is.
itself.
It is.
Yeah.
You can just feel the excitement build as you're getting closer, and it's just like, are we there yet?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. And then Ellis Island. Well, Cindy was telling me that her grandfather came through Ellis Island.
Yes, he
So
did.
yeah,
And that it's very interesting. I did some research for my mother, and they have a great, you can go in there, you can find out, I could find out the name of the ship my grandfather came in on, the day he came in, of course, the year he came in. I could find out how much money he had in his pocket when he
yeah, that's
landed
so
at Ellis
cool.
Island. The records they have are absolutely amazing. It would be very emotional for me to go visit Ellis Island. I have never been. I've been to upstate New York, but I've never been to New York proper or Manhattan. But one day, maybe this year, who knows, Sandy?
Maybe
Um,
I got
but
room for you in my suitcase.
Good. You
Yeah,
might have to
yeah.
pack me in there, but a visit to Ellis Island would definitely be a highlight for me, only because I've got personal ties and family history there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I did look up my name and there were people with my last name, but nobody that rang a bell with me. But everything is digitalized. So if you're looking for a relative, you don't have to like thumb through a bunch of books. It's all computerized now, and you can just put it in there, and they have a lot of helpful staff there that will help you look for what you're trying to find. So
Yeah.
so it's very interesting to see it. And there are other buildings on the side of this one that you see
Mhm.
here where people actually, had to stand in line or, had to stay while they were waiting to get in. And so
Mhm.
it is a lot of history in one
For
small
sure.
spot. So
Mhm.
very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have another collage of pictures. Again, there's the skating rink with the tree at Rockefeller Center. Um, and like I said, if you want to go, you have to book, and they only let a few people on at a time. But if you're into skating, then that's what you should be doing. It's kind of interesting. The upper right hand is not Saks Fifth Avenue. No, it's not Saks. Yes, it is Saks Fifth Avenue. They have a light show every 20 minutes, and it's timed to music. And it's absolutely incredible. It changes like every 3 or 4 seconds, and there's different colors and different patterns. And it's if you look at the picture of the skating rink there, and if you were to walk away from the statue, you're going to walk down a street mall about a block long, where they have Christmas trees and heralding angels and things like that. It's right at the end of that block that you're going to be able to see this store with all the lights on. So it's all in close proximity. You don't have to go very far. And it just brings that holiday spirit to you. And if you go into the store, they still have a wooden escalator that you can go up.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that's pretty interesting, and it was worth the ride itself. So on the bottom left, you see a Christmas market. There are a few Christmas markets in New York City. The biggest one, of course, is over by Macy's, which is not real far from our hotel, but you'll either want to take the subway or take a cab. I don't think you're going to want to walk to spend all that time walking around the Christmas markets. So, but yeah, there is something to see as well. And then, of course, oh, we forgot the Christmas windows. Go back, Cindy, go back. The Christmas windows. You got to look at the Christmas windows. That's Saks Fifth Avenue right there, and they're just phenomenal. And again, I'm not sure where the people who are watching live, but when I was a kid, Simpsons and Eaton's used to have Christmas windows. I don't know if anybody, I'm aging myself here, but just remember when you were a kid and you stood in awe and looking at those windows, it's the same kind of thing. You stand there and you just look at the workmanship and the animation, and it's amazing. They go all out for sure.
I
So
did a little research, Sandy,
on
the skating at
on the
Rockefeller Center
skating,
for you.
okay,
Yeah. So it looks like you can pre-book, but
right?
slot 60 minutes. You will be admitted if you arrive late, but your overall time on the ice surface will be reduced to your 60
Your original
minutes in
time.
total. Yeah. And
Okay.
ticket costs run anywhere from $20 to $54. And I'm assuming that depends on the times that you book.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you can
More
rent the
popular
skates.
times would be, yes, skates
Yeah,
are
you can rent
available to
skates.
rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you were to go at a more popular time, like perhaps maybe the evening hours are a little more money than the daytime hours.
I
So,
would think so, because even just seeing the tree and being around in that whole street mall that I was talking about in the evening, it's very crowded.
mhm.
But
And it would
again,
be very popular and a
yeah,
wonderful experience, a
yeah,
great place to be in the evening.
yeah, yeah. I was fortunate for Christmas. My brother and sister-in-law bought me a Thomas Kincaid painting. I don't know if anybody has seen it, of the tree.
Oh, beautiful.
And it's got the statue in the front, and it's very nice. So I cherish that.
Yeah, I'll
It
bet
brings
you
me
do.
memories. So
I'll bet.
yeah. So, but yeah, it's beautiful. These are just some kind of random shots of New York. These ones I didn't take. Of course, there is the carriage ride that goes through Central Park. On our city tour of Central Park, we go around, we see strawberry fields, and we go around the whole park, but we don't go into the park. But there's nothing dangerous about going into the park. I had my daughter with me, and she rented a bike and rode through the park. So, and she's still alive today, so that's good. But she had a lot of fun.
Sometimes I think New
you
York
know.
City gets a bad rep, like the,
I think it does too.
yeah. And you really do have to
know.
experience it,
Yeah, yeah. The first time I went, everybody warned me, you got to watch your money, you got to watch this, you got to watch that. Never was I ever scared. And I'm a
Yeah.
chicken. So I was never scared. So New York does
Awesome.
not scare me. So, and of course there's a playbill with, oh, you went a little too fast there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Back you go. A playbill with some of the plays that are on, and just a city shot of one of the streets. And the Gray Line bus tours, there are a couple of bus tours that go, they start in Times Square, but they're hop on, hop off buses. You see them in a lot of cities. And they of course have a narrator that will tell you where you are and what you're seeing. And you can get off wherever you want, and you can get back on. And what I recommend is you do the whole loop first, and then you can figure out where you want to get off. That way you don't get off and spend too much time in one place and not be able to see what else you want to see. So that's what I would recommend, is unless you know exactly where you want to go, do the whole loop. It doesn't take very long. But they also have a night tour going over to Brooklyn, but we're already going to Brooklyn at night. So, but they also have one that combines with a dinner cruise on the Hudson. So if you want to know more about them, if you go on the Gray Line website, they'll tell you the prices and stuff. Keep in mind, you only have one free day, and the rest of the time you're mine. So,
so you choose wisely, I guess, is what you're trying to say, Sandy.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I
There's so much
know,
to do.
I
Yeah.
know that you will have plenty
Yeah.
of suggestions for anybody
Yeah.
on their free day. And obviously there'll be things that you're going to be doing that they're welcome to join you with too. So
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Like I say, it's easy to find your way around. All the streets are, it's like all the avenues all line up and all the streets all line up. They're all numbered. It's really easy to find your way around. You're not going to get lost. Believe it or not, you're not going to get lost. So here's some more pictures. There is a view of the 9/11 memorial from above. And again, we're gonna see that up close and personal. And Cindy and I were talking about this next picture. We figure it's in the 9/11 Memorial Museum, which is something else on your spare day you might want to go see. It's got a lot of stuff in there, and it's very interesting, and it's going to bring back a lot of memories for people. And of course, again, there's Grand Central Station. And there are so many museums in New York. If you're a museum person, there's so many museums and so many different kind of museums that you can go to see. Again, plan your day carefully, because you only got one free one. So, and then of course the Cake Boss store. There is one in New Jersey. You could find your way across the Hudson there. There is a tunnel, there is buses, and you could take a cab. However, I did some research, and there is one in New York City. So if you really want to go, there is a Carlos Bakery or bake shop in New York City and Manhattan. So it saves you a little travel time. And then of course, there's our illustrious general manager trying what we all try when we go to New York, is pizza. And you can see it's only $1 a slice. You can eat all you want. Walking down the street, you're going to see hot dog vendors. You're going to see pretzels. You're going to see roasted nuts. You're going to see everything. And the smells are going to come at you all at once at first, and you're going to learn to discern what you're looking for by the smell. So there's a lot of street vendors out there. So it's good to see, though. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I would have to have roasted chestnuts. I would have to.
Well,
it's New York at Christmas time. You've got to get some roasted chestnuts from a street vendor. I have never
done that.
Well, Sandy, see, now I'm just telling you a new experience for yourself there.
I'm going to buy them, put them in my purse, and give them to you.
Oh, are you? Well, so maybe I'll be able to join you.
Well, I hope so. I think you would really enjoy it. After all this, you're going to have to come see it for yourself.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
This is on a lot of people's bucket list.
Yes.
And I've gone as a guide with Westworld, and I've gone on my own. And I went on my own the first few times, but if you have a guided tour and you have someone telling you where to go and what to see, it really makes a huge difference. Saves you a lot of time. It just narrows
Yes.
down where you should go and what you should see. This tour, everything you thought about New York and everything you thought you wanted to see, you're going to be able to see, and you're going to be able to try.
Mhm.
We have it set up that you're going to see everything.
You'll
So
experience a lot
yes, you will. And like
that's
I say,
synonymous with New York.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It may be a fast tour, but you're going to be busy. Okay, this is one of my favorite all-time things. This is the Come From Away play. I'm not sure how much you guys know about this play. This play, it's so proud to make you feel so proud that you're Canadian when you're watching this play, especially in New York City, where the start of this play actually became what became this play started from 9/11, of course, and says all the planes landing and how the Canadians treated them and some of the passengers and some of the issues the passengers had. And it's by the time I left there, my chest was sticking so far out because I was so proud to be Canadian. And
Yeah.
it's I think I've seen a lot of plays, and this is by far my favorite. This is a
And
story that people should see.
I agree 100% with you on that. And I
Yep.
think it's absolutely fascinating
Yep.
that, being Canadian, sitting in New York City where the story began, and it's telling how
Yep.
that beginning and how we as Canadians made a
Stepped up.
difference.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
This
Uh,
play is phenomenal.
And I know that it's one that we've always had tickets for. And people just come away raving about it. So
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, I was never prouder to be Canadian as I was when that play was over and I walked back out onto the street of New York.
I'll bet.
And it just feels good. It's a feel good play.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's a tearjerker at times, but you feel good for sure.
Hmm.
So there it is in a nutshell. There's your 6 days in a short time, but you're
New
gonna, like I
York.
say, see a lot.
So that's our Women Explorers New York Christmas Spectacular, which goes
Yep.
December 3rd. And we also do have a tour that goes in the fall with Westworld Tours, because our Women Explorers Tour is a women's only tour, which I guess we maybe failed to mention at the beginning of this presentation. But I mean, who doesn't want to go to New York at Christmas time, right? So
Yep.
it is a women's only tour, December
That's when we can
3rd.
go to the market, Cindy, and we can go shopping.
Again, exactly, yes. And we also have our Westworld Tours tour that goes in October. And of course, that's October 8th to, that date is not correct. Would be 13th.
I think it's to the 13th, yeah.
Yes, yeah, we've got an incorrect date on there. So it's October 8th to October 13th, 2022. And that one you'll see lots of the same things. The Rockefeller Center, you're going to see Ellis Island, you're going to see Lady Liberty, you're going to take in 2 shows, one of them being Come From Away. And I'm not sure what the other one is yet, but it does include 2 Broadway shows and a lot of the things that we have included in our Women Explorers at Christmas time. Of course, our Christmas tour focuses on Christmas and all the beautiful Christmas lights and the magic around New York at Christmas. So whereas our October tour is what we would call our regular tour, I guess. It's focusing on not so much on Christmas time or a specific item. It's more general.
And it's just as busy.
And just as busy.
Just as busy, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as busy. You see just as much, and maybe a few different things at a different time of year. But
and you can still have a cannoli with Michael.
Yeah, there you go. You'll still get your cannoli with Michael at the bakery for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, Sandy, thank you. I know you could
welcome.
talk forever about Christmas.
I could.
at New York. And you always have said, it's just absolutely magical, Cindy. You've got to go. I know you keep telling me that. So you've convinced me.
I think I tell everybody that.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
again, I thank you for joining us this evening and sharing, your knowledge and love
you're
of New
welcome.
York at Christmas time. And I know you're going to stick around here with me while we get to some of
for sure.
our questions.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
For sure.
So let's just have a look and see what all we have. Just give me one moment to access it here. We've got a lot of comments as well as questions, but let's see. Hannah has asked a question. When you said the price for double, like for example, $7,000 and single person is $6,000, but I didn't understand, is it single bedroom or share with someone? Okay, that's a good question. And we always, it's easy to clarify that. When Sandy was talking about our hotel rooms, specifically, I believe earlier, whether you're one person in a room or you're two people in a room or three people in a room, she was saying our hotel rooms are large enough to accommodate that comfortably. For New York standards. Again, we have to state New York standards because most hotel rooms are postage stamp size, where ours in comparison have a little bit larger feel to them. They're still not huge by any means, but you will be comfortable. And as far as pricing goes, yes, there's a single price, which is if you are staying in a room by yourself, you're not sharing it with anybody else. So you would pay a single per person rate. If there's two people in the room, there's a double price. You would pay a per person price based on two people sharing a room. And Women Xplorers is unique in the fact that we offer a room share guarantee. So you can, if you're looking to not pay that single rate, which is generally more expensive because you're covering the hotel all by yourself. If you were to share that room with somebody else, you can book a room share and we will put you together with another lady looking to share a room. You're guaranteed to pay that double price. And it's a great way to go. It's a very unique situation with our Women Xplorers tours.
I'd like to say, and I know that might scare some people who don't really want to share a room with someone they know, but when you think about it, you're not in that room very much. By the time you get up in the morning and by the time your head hits the pillow at night, you're good. You just go to bed and you get up. There's not a lot of time to hang out in a hotel room on this tour at all.
Right,
so,
right.
It's sharing a room with someone you don't know. They might become your next best friend. You never know, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It happens. You become lifelong friends. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we've seen that happen on tours. So
lots of great comments here about remembering Eaton's and the Christmas display windows and all of that.
That says how old I am.
Well, someone said, "Oh, you're so old, Sandy." But I remember them. I remember them as I'm just as old. But really, it's something that we just don't see so much anymore. But you will get that experience definitely in New York at Christmas time. So
yeah. Sure.
Somebody commented, Donna commented that she loved the hop on and the hop off buses in New York City. So, that's great. That's great to hear.
They're not expensive.
No,
they're not expensive. They're a very reasonable price. And you get to get off when you want, get back on when you want, spend as much time as you want somewhere. And I think they're a great value.
At the sites that you want to.
Yeah.
Kathy has asked if there's an option to go without the show, because she's already seen the show in Toronto. Kathy, I would ask you to send us an email, if you don't mind, to information@westworldtours.com, and we can look into that for you and provide you with an answer on that. Right off the top of my head, I really couldn't say. but send us an email. That's a great question, and we'd be more than happy to answer that for you. And we have another one here that says, I live in Williams Lake. Do I make my way down to an airport somewhere and book a flight to New York? Or can I book from Williams Lake, then to Vancouver, then New York? Our thoughts. That's another reason why, we don't always include the airfare on these tours, but you're welcome to fly out of any city that will work best for you. I'm not 100% up to date on what your options are out of Williams Lake, but I would highly recommend that you contact a local travel agent who'd be more than happy to get you booked on the tour and help you with all your flight arrangements, all your travel insurance needs. They're there to help you, and we're here to answer your questions. But your local travel agent is going to know best about where is the best place for you living in William Lake to fly in and out of New York.
I've had a tour that went past Williams Lake. I can't remember where we were going, but I've been past there.
Okay.
But yeah. Also, if you are flying and they do have recommended flights that we meet up in Toronto, no matter what time you get to New York, your transfer is always included. I will always be there to greet you.
Yeah.
I will
always
make my way
pick you
back
up.
and I'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And everybody's transfers are included from your airport arrival into Manhattan and back again to the airport. And but definitely that is a great question, and contact your local agent, and your agent will be able to let you know which airport we request you fly in and out of, where we've made our transfer arrangements, and all of that good information. So, all right. And again, if you have more questions that you would like answers to, by all means, send us an email to information@westworldtours.com, and we will be more than happy to get back to you. Everybody who did register for our presentation this evening will receive a follow-up email from us, and it will have a link to all of the information on this tour. And you can reach out to us, follow us on Facebook at Westworld Tours, contact your local travel agent for more information. They're a great resource. And again, we are always here to answer questions. And we look forward to welcoming you aboard one day soon. And hopefully we can all join Sandy in New York at Christmas.
Oh, you guys would never regret it. I keep thinking as I get older, some of the best memories I've had are seeing some of those sites in New York at Christmas. It's just, I don't know. For me, it's my bucket list every single time.
Yes,
So,
well, it's definitely on my bucket list, Sandy. And I mean, New York has always been on my bucket list, the city proper, Manhattan. But you're talking to me, time and time again about New York and how excited you get every year that this
I
tour
do. I'm
goes.
like a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like a kid in a candy store.
I am.
So you've inspired me to put it up a few notches on my bucket list. So I look forward to it. And again,
and I
thank
hope to
you.
See everybody else too.
Yeah.
Well,
we appreciate everybody joining us this evening to listen to us talk and natter back and forth at each other about New York. And it is exciting. And obviously it's gotten both of us excited.
Yeah.
We appreciate you being here. And again, Sandy, thanks so much for sharing your love and knowledge of New York.
Anytime.
All right.
Thank you.
And thanks again, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.